Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G from Happiness and Crafting. So it's Sunday morning here, beautiful day. So I have been outside doing some coffee staining of some fabric and some papers, which are all looking really yummy. So I thought I would pop up here and have a little play while that's all drying. So I have got some sort of like scrap bits of paper that I was using. These are just from my the new Collage collection papers that I had. So I had some bits left over, so I thought I'd make some little booklets. Now these are really cute. So I've used some coffee stain postcards for the back. There's no sewing, it's just sticking and folding, so it's really simple. So I have made 3 of these this morning. I've held them together with a little paper clip. I'll pop the tutorial to these down, but they're really simple. So it's just a flip up. Again, these lovely little flip up pages like that, and I popped a little pocket in the bottom, in the back, and they just flip down so you can see that they're sort of different sizes in there. So it's just coffee stain paper, a little bit of the collage paper. Again, use whatever scrap paper that you have, and then they just come down. Simple, lovely to pop into a little journal, and then I've just closed it up with a little paper clip like that. So simple and so lovely. I've tried to sort of like write down some of the sizes, but it's not completely accurate. But the postcard that I used, let me just measure that. It is 5.5 inches by 3.5 inches, which is 14 centimeters by just under 9 centimeters. Okay, so that's the basics. So if you don't have these little postcards, just use a piece of card or scrap piece of paper that you can use as well. So it needs to be a little bit thicker just so it supports the back of it. So the papers that I've used, this one here is 3.5 by 5.25, or 9 by 13 centimeters. This one I have cut 4 7/8 by 3.5 inches and by 9 and 12 centimeters. This one is 4 3/4 by 3.5 inches, or 11.5 by 8.5 centimeters. And this is 4 3/4 by 3.5 inches, or 11.25 by 8.5 centimeters. Okay, so that's a rough estimate. They're not completely accurate. And then I've just popped a little bit of scrap paper in there to pop a little note, a little journaling card in there. This is one from the Friday freebies that I did. So that just pops in there, that closes down, and then we've got the little paper clip. So simple. That just fits on there like that, and it looks really lovely. So really simple, and I'm loving them. Quick and easy, so you could make up quite a few of these, and because you're using the collage papers, I really don't think you need to put anything on the top of it like that, because I think they look really nice. So there we go, quick and simple. I've cut some to size here, so I'm just going to show you how you put them together. So once you've cut them to size, I'll pop the sizes down under the video so you can have a look as well, or I might put them on the video, I will see. So I've got the postcard. I'm going to take the biggest bit. These are just from one of my kits as well, which I've had a bit of scrap left over. So I have just bent them over here, which is like 1/4 inch or a couple of centimeters. Just pop a little bit of glue down there on here. Make sure we've got the postcard up the right way. Stick that down like that. Make sure it's stuck. So use whatever glue you like. Again, in here I have my tacky glue, because I get that asked all the time. I have tacky glue in here. And I just add a little bit of water just to dilute it, so it's easier to come out of this tiny little nozzle in there. So that's the first one. We take the next size, which is just the plain tea stain paper. Again, you can put more pages in this. You can do it all with tea stain paper. It's entirely up to you. So this is just the idea. just going to pop that one down, just leave a tiny little gap there, so it's not butted right up against this here. It's just got a little gap in it like that, so that just folds down. Super simple. Pop this one on, a little bit of glue, stick it down. They're all just slightly smaller, which I quite like because it just sort of like gives it a little bit of interest, doesn't it, when they're not all the same size. So that opens up, and then we'll pop the last one on, which is this one. I'm not sure whether I cut that a little bit too big. Yes, I think I did, but it doesn't matter, does it? That can go on, that can go down. Actually, they're quite nice, different sizes like that. That's what the next one I'm going to show you in a minute. I've got a pile of scrap. I want to make one which has got different sort of like bits in it, different sizes, and then I've just got the little scrap piece here which I've just rounded the corners off. I've rounded the corners on these, so I need to do that on here because I like the corners rounded, just like that. It's my little corner punch in different sizes, which is really handy. Pop a little bit of glue when we're going down this way, like that. Just a little pocket in the bottom on the back page, just so we can stick something in there, which is nice, and then just flips down like that. Oops. And then that's it. Now on the other ones, what I've done, I've just got a little bit of fabric and just popped it like that, just over either side, just so that you can't see this join here. So you can use paper, you could use a little strip of paper, but I've got this coffee stained fabric that I've had for a while. It's really, really thin sort of cotton, and it's so handy. I think it was an old curtain that I had. So I'm just going to take a strip of that, very fine, so just about there. Then I'm going to get a little bit of glue. There's this Fabri-Tac in here. Just add a tiny bit on there. Do it this way. Stick that down. Turn it over, and then we just stick that on the back. Like that. How easy peasy was that? Not very level, but that's okay. Now I'm loving that, so let's have a look. We could do with something on the front of that, couldn't we? Because it's a little bit plain. I've got a bunch of bits and pieces in here which I've made. That was one of the Friday freebies, so you could probably pop that on the front. Would look quite nice, wouldn't it? These are a little bit too big. These are some lovely little pouches that I made before. You could make something like that and pop it on the front, couldn't you? So you'd have an extra pocket. I do like these, but I think that's a little bit too big on there. Maybe I'm just going to stick this on here. Let's have a little bit of cheesecloth, shall we, underneath? Look at this. This is what I coloured this morning. This piece dried really, really quickly. So this is this lovely cheesecloth. This is a very, very open weave one. I got this one from Amazon Spain, I think, which I'm going to have a storefront for Amazon Spain, because I've been using that quite a lot lately, because the UK one, obviously because of Brexit and everything, have changed. All the prices are really expensive to have things sent to Portugal now. So I've been trying out Amazon Spain, and it's really, really good. So let's just stick that down. That looks quite nice, doesn't it? Then I'm going to put that on the top. Let's pop it on with this one so it sticks down. You could probably make this into a little pocket even, couldn't you? I think I'm just going to stick it down like that. Look at that. Doesn't that look nice to go into a lovely little vintage journal or something? Now I could do with a little paper clip. So what have we got in here? Let's just, I don't want a great big one. I don't really want a big one. Let's just have one of these little ones for now. Pop that on the side like that, and I think that looks really lovely. So how nice is that, just to pop into a little journal? I think that looks really, really nice. So what I would like to do now, just have a go here. I've got a postcard, I think. Well, I did have, maybe not. Oh, there we go. There's my little postcard, nice and grunged up. So that's going to be the base. Now I would like a top one, which I think would probably, oh, that fits just, doesn't it? So that would just for the cover, and then the rest I'm going to just use the other little bits of scrap paper. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use my cutter, my trimmer, just to bend that little piece over sort of 1/4 of an inch. Like that. So then that will sit on the postcard, stick down onto the postcard, and then what I need to do, just mark that off there, because that's where it needs to be trimmed. So we shall trim that off there like that, and that's lovely. I like that as the front. That doesn't that look really pretty? So that's nice. So what I'm going to do now, I was thinking of just having just random pieces of paper. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use this to bend over the edges. And then I'm going to use this as a guide, as the cutter. And again, I'm going to take another piece, just bend over that sort of 1/4 of an inch. Take it, I'm going to have shorter and longer pieces on here. Just bend it over, cut that off, and I think, oops, that's a bit big. So we've got pieces like this to pop in there, bigger pieces and smaller pieces, just like this. And again, I'm going to use, I did have a smaller, this one here, which I quite like. Now, shall we have it this way? Put that down, let's have that about there, and then maybe we'll have it going along this way, like that. And then these can just be randomly stuck on, I'm hoping. Let's have another piece, shall we? Oh, that's the postcard. I want to cut that piece up. Let's use this piece. I think that might be a little bit too long. Cut a little section off. Will that be too long? No. Right, I think that's enough. So the first bit I'm going to stick down, that's the top of it's going to be this one. So let's get the glue. So then you can use, oopsie daisy, then you can use up all your little scrap pieces of tea stain paper, the bits that get cut off. So let's stick this down first, like that. Again, you can cut it so it opens out this way, but I'm quite liking them like this because I don't do many things sort of like from the landscape way. It's normally sort of always this way, the books, aren't they? So that's that one on. So what should we stick? One of these on here. Oops, a bit of glue there. Stick this here. It's sort of straight. There we go. lift that one up, and then we'll take this little one and we can sort of like overlap it there like this. To make sure it can bend on the last one. Goes like that. And then I think I'll take this bigger one and pop that on there. That's about right size, yes. A little bit of glue. Pop that. So we're not all gluey everywhere, so that comes down, and these will fold down. Then what should we have? This one here. That one like that. Open that up. We have another little one here. This has got lots of little pages on. This one can go this side. That's it. Another one. A little bit of glue. Stick that on. And then the last one we can just have sort of, oops, don't want that cotton. You can put that one in the middle. So as long as they don't all go off the end, I think it should be fine. Perfect. There we go. So that will fold down like this. Bit wibbly wobbly, but it doesn't matter, does it? That comes down and that comes over and folds over all of it. Lovely. Oh, I'm liking that. That's really nice, isn't it? Like that. What I might do, I might actually just chop the corners off, just to make it look a little bit neater, I think. Just like that. I think sometimes when you do the corners, it just makes it look a little bit more finished. So if you didn't want it too scruffy looking, just sort of round the edges off. Especially if it's a gift, I think it looks nice. Chop this off. Couple more. Shake all the little bits out. Let's do the front page. And I think we shall do the bottom of here as well. So that's the postcard. Perfect. Look at that. Doesn't that look nice? That looks really good. Oh, I like that. Okay, so shall we pop the pocket in there? Let's have a look what we've got I can use for a pocket. Could do with a little bit of this, couldn't we? We could do a bigger one, then we could have the little ladybug in it. Or should we save that for something else? Let's just cut a little piece off here. Make sure that's straight. Got to be the same size as that so it covers it up. Now I'm going to just round the edges on the bottom, so when it sits on here like that. Okay, a little bit of glue. I think I might just use a little bit of seam binding to make a little bow closure on this one. Just tie it up because it's a little bit bigger, isn't it? So there we go. Nice little pocket. What have we got? That's going to be a little bit too big. Oh no, that fits in there. That's your little pocket. That's good. Please flip down. That goes on there. So we need to just cover that top piece up. This is the last piece we used. Take all these bits of thread off. So I want it about there. A little bit of glue. I wonder if I could tie it round. Let's just do this way. That's alright. Oopsie daisy. A little bit of glue there. Look at that, I think that's really nice. And little bits off. Now let's have a look. This is some nice big load of seam binding that's dried already as well, which is nice. So which way should we go? This way? That looks quite nice. I'm going to chop it off about there. Just tie it round in a little bow. Yes, we'll do it this way, I think. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? Oh, I really do like these. I think that you could actually attach that to there so it doesn't fall off, couldn't you? But I think it's really, really nice. It just flips up and you've got lots of little odd pages in there to write on or journal on. You could even make a nicer one and you could have little pockets in each of these as well. You could probably pop a little spine on here as well. All lots of things to do for the future. Maybe I'll have a go at that. So another video coming up, I can see, on an improvement for this, but loving it. So there we go, guys. There's a few little bits to do to use up some of your scraps, and I think they are really nice. There we are. Okay guys, well I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you're having a lovely Sunday, or have had a lovely Sunday. I'm hoping to get this video out today. So thank you so much for joining me. Please stay safe, take care, and I will see you next time. Alright guys, bye bye.